There is an old adage that, quote, prayer without works is dead, end quote. In light of Police Commissioner Erla Christopher's recent call for divine intervention to help with the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, political activist and Seventh-day Adventist Pastor Clive Dottin said prayer is not enough to turn the situation around. Instead, he said firm action is needed. A former Canadian federal government executive agrees. More in this report from Kandace Jackson.
Police Commissioner Erla Christopher called for the nation to pray for divine intervention as violent crime increases. Seventh-day Adventist Pastor Clive Dottin welcomes the notion.
But divine intervention comes with a commitment to righteousness. You have to have a commitment to doing what is right. And by the way, God expects us to work hard and work smart.
Pastor Dottin accused the government of not being honest with themselves or the public about what is fueling the recent crime wave. He believes there is a direct correlation between gang activity and the drug trade in the Caribbean. He labeled it the Caribbean Alliance of Drug Dealers.
And Tobago falls right smack in that because for a number of reasons, you're heavy on tourism. That's number one. Okay? That is heavy. Number two, you're a small island.
Some of the recent shootings and killings occurring in Tobago are suspected to be gang-related. While the police continue to investigate those cases, Pastor Dottin pointed out that a societal change in the family dynamic is driving more young people into gang activity and the drug trade.
Tobago had family life as its strength, as its pillar, if you please, fundamental issue. You have a breaking in the family in Tobago now as postmodernism creeps in, if you please.
He called for fathers to be held responsible, citizens to volunteer their time mentoring students at school, and for communities to be adopted by positive, influential people. Meanwhile, Joanne John, who is currently hosting a petition for people to take a stance against crime, has a few thoughts of her own. She is a retired Canadian federal government executive with experience in criminal policy and border control. John called for decisive action, such as an amnesty for illegal firearms.
Where the government gives all of the gunmen a period of time to turn in all the guns. They don't do it, raids. They don't do it, immediate arrest.
John admitted that it might be time for the government to consider a temporary infringement on the rights of citizens.
I'm not the kind of person who normally advocates for suspending people's rights, but when you have to do that in order to make something change, then that's the time that you might have to do it. But you have to have the courage to do it. And our elected officials don't have the courage. They're stonewalled. They don't have the power. They've given away that power somehow.
Kandace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.